Hi, hi, hi. Welcome also to the first day of Serlzo's Women's Wealth and Freedom Conference. My name is Royalty Chike and I am your moderator. I mean, who else is as excited as I have a packed and an easy day off as we start? We came in with hot. Today we're going to be having this Priscilla Obi, who is a thriving social-oriented entrepreneur. She is one person who has turned pain into profit. I mean, that's just amazing to think that we as women tend to, want to victimize our pain and be pitied for it. This is one woman who took her pain and turned it to money. This is going to be interesting. Mrs. Priscilla Obi is a founder and CEO of Nature First. In 2022, which is Nature First, was nominated for National MSME Awards in the Excellence of Agriculture. She is a six-session mother, a super mom. She has an amazing book that is best-selling on Amazon. Mrs. Priscilla Obi is here to teach us how to turn our pains and make them profit. What would you be taking out of this session? You're going to be taking out how to turn your personal struggles into profitable businesses. How to, first things first, every woman needs to know that you are first a brand before what you actually sell. And in case you didn't know that, well, that's why you're here, because you're going to be learning amazing things and awesome things. So without any delay of our host, which will be.
Hi everyone. Hello, amazing ladies. Can you hear me?
Hello, Mrs.
Awesome. You can hear me loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am, can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, great. So thank you so much for the warm welcome. And tonight, um, I just saw someone's comments on the screen, and the person said, I pray I learned so much here tonight. I'm here to tell you that that prayer of yours has come with answers already. And as I'll be sharing from my personal experience, first of all, I want to say thank you to the entire team at Serlzo for putting together this amazing women's conference in commemoration of the International Women's Day celebration. Oh, I see the comments coming that you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you for the feedback. I do appreciate it. So we're going to go into today's session really quick, and I want to say thank you for joining me and catching me live. And to those who will be watching the replay as well, thank you for taking time, investing time into learning. So we'll just go right into the session. How to convert your pain, how to convert your personal crisis into purpose and profits. When I saw the topic, I was like, whoa, have these people been studying me? Have they been watching me closely, watching the work that I do? Because anyone who knows about the brand that I have built, by the way, I built the Nature First brand from scratch. Yes, I know a lot of entrepreneurs say that, and when they say that, sometimes they try to be humble, but the thing is, it's my reality. It's my reality. So for those who don't have the backstory, I'll just take a couple of seconds to give you the backstory so that you have a better understanding of where I'm coming from. So it happened that some years ago, my son had. Okay, some people are saying they can't see me anymore. I don't know. This feedback, the technical team, can you please address this? Um, I don't know if it's that person's. Oh, awesome. Awesome. You can see me. Thank you. So I'll just go ahead. So the quick story, backstory was my son had a domestic accident what was that accident? My son tripped off the staircase in our home and he sustained a head injury just on his forehead. Now, we had no idea that the injury was quite huge, but we took him to the hospital as we should because he was barely 2 years old at the time. So we took him to the hospital. They did all of the preliminary checks. They gave us some medication and they asked us to check back, and we did. Little did we know that the injury was beyond surface, but it was skin deep. So a month later, he was sleeping and he tripped and he fell from his bed, hitting the same spot. That was when we saw the magnitude of the injury. Now, it became a long battle of, treatments, visiting the hospital. And at some point, my mom had to say, hey, you guys have been going to the hospital, you guys have been trying to treat this injury. Why don't we treat it with herbs? And then I took my son over to my mom's, who took me to someone who's now my mentor in herbal healing. And she gave us some herbs. We steamed the herbs and placed it over the head. Now, the forehead that was badly swollen, just overnight, the herbs that we applied reduced the swelling by half. It was then that I first marveled at the efficacy of herbal remedies. And afterwards, over a period of 2 weeks, kept, applying some herbal oils, the wound healed completely till today. It was at this point that I realized the potency of herbal remedies. And, I started to think this woman who gave me the natural remedy, who gave me the solution, is quite elderly. And in the next couple of decades, they will not be here anymore. Now, I also realized that as Africans, many of our herbs, many of our local solutions are going extinct because the more people are moving from rural to urban, migration, people are moving out of the continent to other parts of the world. We are having all kinds of migration. We are losing our treasures. And so I started to think to myself that if we continue to lose this, no one is documenting our local solutions, no one is preserving these natural treasures that we have in form of herbs, in form of natural remedies and all of that, then in a few years time we're not going to have these solutions if we cannot document it, if we cannot preserve it. You go to the traditional Chinese medicine, they have remedies that have lasted for over 700 years, 500 years, 1000 years, yes, and they are still being used and being the benefits are still being gotten today. So I started to think to myself, um, how do I package this knowledge? How do I begin to talk about this? By the way, I have a first and second degree in business administration. So it was quite a challenge. So, how do I switch from business administration to becoming a herbalist or someone who is enthusiastic about nature? And, so part of what I'll be sharing today is, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Awesome. So, so this is my story, and so that was how the Nature First brand came to be. I started to look into natural, local wellness solutions. Some of the things that helped my son heal at the time was also natural, nutritious foods. Right? It's increased the speed of his healing and all of that. So, it was at that point I said, okay, I needed the world to hear about these natural solutions that we had. I also needed the world to understand that beyond all the orthodox remedies and methods, there are other forms of healthcare that we have used, our fathers have used, our forefathers, our mothers have used, that we shouldn't throw away. Rather, we should benefit from, and we should profit from them, we should benefit from them, we should heal from them, and we should impact the world with them. And so that's how the Nature First brand was born, right? I said, I decided to say, okay, before you try any other thing, try nature first. Try nature first. So that's my brand story, and it's just been so amazing. The testimonials, the healings, the amazing transformation using natural remedies, natural therapies, and natural solutions, plant-based solutions to help people heal and nourish naturally. So now you have the backstory, but tonight's session is not about me. It's about you who have joined this call, who want to learn how to turn your own pain or your own personal crisis into profit. So, I mean, today my son would say, "Oh, so some an accident that happened to me has now become a business for you," and he would tease me. But then he's glad that that story, then a crisis for us, has now turned into something that is the world. Yes, and so it's time for you to turn your own pain or your own crisis into something that is purposeful and profitable. Now, for us, it was a health crisis, right? So, but for you, it could be some other kind of crisis. Maybe you have survived uh, uh, maybe growing up you have survived bullying, right? There are a lot of people who are going through bullying today. Bullying in schools, bullying in the workplace, bullying in society, different parts of the world, different spheres of life, and you have overcome bullying as a person, and you have a story to tell. Don't waste that pain. Don't waste that pain. Mind you, before I started the Nature First brand, I had this advocacy going on. I was traveling, I was going to radio stations where I was pushing the C-section sensitization campaign. That was another work I was doing, purposeful work I was doing after I survived death at childbirth, because I was trying to be a Hebrew woman and not go through a cesarean session. But that's the story for another day. I wrote a book, I published it, became a bestseller on Amazon. I did a lot of campaign. I created a group supporting thousands of women, get off that stigma that comes with having a C-section birth. My book is still on Amazon, C-section Mom, Super Mom. You can see the book, you can read the book, you can buy a copy, you can read. Now, this is to tell you that I have done this over and over again. So, whatever that pain is, so most times when people go through a particular struggle, they downplay the struggle. Little do they know that people all over the world, so many people all over the world, are battling the same issues. Now, you can say, "Oh, but I don't have a story, or I don't have a pain, or my pain, is it even worth it?" For example, somebody might have gone from a poor, struggling, broke single mom to a thriving, wealthy single mom that can pay her bills, take care of her children. That is a story. That is a transformation. There are millions of women in that position that you should be helping. That is one example. Let me bring another practical example. Say you have been overweight before now, you struggled with your weight, you have been overweight, you've had all kinds of health issues come as a result of that, of being overweight. And now you have moved from being overweight, you have moved to being fit and healthy. And you are just, oh, thankful. And then that's it. Do you know that you can convert that struggle which you have overcome into a thriving business? You can start a coaching session, you can write a book on how you overcame, and write down step by step approach on how people can overcome, how people who are overweight can become fit and healthy again. These are very practical examples. How about somebody, like, we're women, where there are issues that we deal with, there are issues that are peculiar. There are some women who have gone through issues that have some stigma, like rape. Some women have gone through rape, very devastating experience, right? And for some reason you have been there, and you have overcome, and you have stood strong. We celebrate the likes of Joyce Meyer today, right? Even at over 80, she's still preaching all over the world. Her books, she has tens of books. Her book, millions of her books have sold all over the world. What did she do? She took her story. She took her story of how she was sexually molested by her father. And today she's one of the biggest preachers all over the world with hundreds of thousands in her congregation and millions of copies of her books, generating income from one story. So, what is your story? What is your story? I could go on and on and on. There are people who have come from a place of timidity, who have come from a place of being shy, who have come from this place of always being overcome by an imposter syndrome. And then you have moved from that point to being confident, to being bold, to being courageous, to building your own business, to thriving in career. How can you use that story to uplift another woman? How can you use that pain you have experienced to convert it into purpose, to either start a humanitarian service or a for-profit business? I have done both. I have started a humanitarian a service, and I have started a for-profit business using my own story, using my own, personal crisis. So now, one thing that you need to understand as a woman is the power of personal story. Nobody can take it away from you. The passion someone who has a personal experience has is different from somebody who reads something in a book or was taught in a classroom. I can tell you for free, when I had my C-section sensitization campaign, yes, I have had two cesarean sections in a space of 13 months. Yes, that's me. You're wondering how I got into this situation. But that's my experience. I had the first C-section. My son was four months old. I got pregnant for the second one. I thought I was going to die because of all the things I had heard about cesarean section. How you shouldn't have another cesarean section until after 2 years. And all of those things. And how, in fact, C-section should be the last resort. But then my health, right? My personal situation. In fact, it was after one of the sessions I discovered that the doctor said it's like you have a male cervix. My cervix was not dilating past 6 cm. Thankfully, this is a women's conference. And so I believe women on this call, you understand what I mean. You understand what it means when a woman is in labor for over 22 hours in active labor and the cervix is not dilating, it's not opening past 6 cm. The baby obviously cannot come out. And it meant that C-section was the only option or death. And here I was saying, no, I want to be a Hebrew man. I want to, have this baby myself. So that was my story. And when I got out of that and seen all I went through, I started that campaign. I said, more women need to be saved because more women need to understand that a cesarean section does not make you weak. It is a valid means of childbirth. So I had started a for-profit. I was going on radio stations in Abuja, in Enugu, in different parts of the country, and it created an impact. I heard stories from women who had been hiding their childbirth. I don't know if it's called a status now, or who had been feeling terrible, or who had been depressed, going through postpartum depression because they had a C-section birth. They were able to tell their stories because I came out. So what is your story? Like I said tonight, it's about you. There are so many things you have dealt with. Now, one thing I want to say is when you have come out of a situation as a woman, when you have gone through a situation and you have come out of it, right? And you have survived it, you are thriving, it makes you an expert. Who is an expert? Someone who has an experience in a field, in something. Right? So you have gone through this pain, you have gone through this crisis, whatever your crisis is. Like I said, it could be anything. Is it going from broke to being financially stable, going from timid to being confident, going from a bad mom to being a great mom, or a careless mom to being a great mom? That is a story. There are so many careless moms out there that your story can inspire. And you might want to say, okay, so when I come out with this story, How do how do I begin to profit out of it? I'm going to give you step by step, like action points on how you can profit from your personal crisis and from your pain. Now, the first thing to do is when you want to step out to convert your pain into purpose, into profit, is to reflect on that pain. Are you with me? Please, I need some feedback. If you can hear me, you're getting any value, please feel free to drop it in the comments. Feel free to write so that I can read from you. Thank you. Now, is to reflect on that pain. Is this something that I want to share with the rest of the world? What is that pain? What is that pain? What caused that pain? How did you go through it? Have you truly come out of it? Have you truly survived it? Is it behind you now? You need to ask yourselves these questions. Now, why it's important that you ask yourself these questions is so that you have fully healed from that pain. Because someone who has not healed from a pain cannot help others. You must have healed from that pain. You must have recovered from that pain. You must have gone through the process. Thank you so much for the feedback. Oh, value 100%. Thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Let's keep it coming. So you must have healed from that pain. You must have, moved on from that pain. Now you need to reflect this pain that I'm experiencing. Now, some people have experienced the pain where they were kicked out by their landlords. An actual pain, yes. You were kicked out because you couldn't pay your rent. And today, you are not just paying your rent, you are paying the rent for other people. How did you move from that person who was kicked out for not being for not being able to pay their rent to someone who is paying conveniently and also paying for others? That is a story right there. So you can create a coaching service, you can write a book, you can create a product from that pain. There are all kinds of pain in this world. Yes, there are all kinds of pain, all kinds of crisis. It could be financial, it could be health, it could be faith-based. Perhaps you move from this place of despair, very deep despair and hopelessness, to this place where you now have a fulfilling relationship with God, where you now have a fulfilling relationship with others, where you have built trust, you have built capacity. How did you move from the place of despair and hopelessness to a place of fulfillment and thriving? The world needs that story. And you can create products from that story. Like I said, thank you so much for that feedback. I'm seeing it on the screen. Like I said, you need to put the story out. You need to reflect on that pain. So the first point is to reflect on the pain. Ask yourself this question: what has this thing taught me? For me, the Nature First brand, in fact, when my son got eventually healed using natural remedies, and I looked at the age of the person who we went to for that natural healing, she was over 70 at the time. Yeah, going on 80. And then I look at some of our African heritage. I find out that our local herbs, our natural remedies and solutions are going extinct. Since we started speaking Supri, a lot of us don't even want to identify with herbs. We term them as fetish. We tag them as, local. And I said to myself, this is a real problem. I find out that people are popping pills. Some people have been popping pills for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. Take, for example, the chronic lifestyle diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis. Some people have been taking medications for this for 30 years. They are not healing. They are getting worse. Some of the pills are bringing upon them some crazy side effects that they cannot even explain. Whereas we have natural remedies, we have natural solutions that have stayed through, that have lasted and proven effective through the years. And I said to myself, no, I'm not just going to sit and watch all of this knowledge go extinct. Now, if you read my book, Natural Remedies Everybody Should Know, you see some powerful natural solutions in that book that have helped people and have continued to help people. I told myself, regardless of how a little or much I think I know, I must document this in a book so that when I'm not even here tomorrow, the coming generation can pick this book and find solutions and find solutions and find help, real help, help that is timely for their needs, to meet their needs. So you must reflect on your pain. You must understand that whatever you have struggled with is also a universal struggle. There is nothing new under the sun. Whatever thing you have dealt with and you have overcome, there are some other people somewhere who are currently dealing with it. It's just like scripture says. When Jesus was speaking to Peter, he said, when you have been converted, strengthen the others. When you have been converted, strengthen the others, strengthen your brothers. Jesus was not blaming him for failing or for denying him. No, he understood that that was a moment of weakness. He said, Peter, I have prayed for you. Satan is trying to sift you like wheat, but I have prayed for you. And when you have been converted, strengthen your brothers. So that's what you're supposed to do with your moment of weakness, your moment of crisis, and your moment of pain. When you have come out of it, use it purposefully to strengthen others. Create a product or a service that will both benefit you and benefit others. We've had people who have come out of severe mental health challenges, depression, panic attacks, and other issues. They have overcome, they have survived it, and today they have become personal development trainers, experts, mental health coaches. They tell you their story, they create coaching services, paid coaching services, and they help you. For me, building the brand, I have also built myself as a health coach, right? I've also built myself as an herbalist. So I charge per hour now. People come with all kinds of health issues, and I help them find natural therapies, natural methods, natural remedies, herbs that will help them overcome those challenges. And we've had countless testimonials. Go on our website, go on our social media. Testimonials are pouring like rain. Find a cause. Can you hear me? Are you with me? Yeah. Okay, someone is saying yes. Exactly. You need to put yourself out there. You need to put yourself out there. If you don't put your nobody knows a silent expert. Whatever you have gone through, if you don't put it out there, nobody is going to know. So you must put it out there. You must tell the world about it. You must shout about it. And you must take yourself seriously enough. If you don't take yourself seriously enough, nobody is even going to take you serious in the first place. So you must own your story. I tell my story all the time. I tell it all the time. I tell it all the time. And I tell the transformation that people are experiencing. I tell it for the world to see, because I work in a sector that sometimes people in pure science want to water down the work that we do. They begin to tell you things that, oh, show me evidence that is science-based and all of that. Science is very good. In fact, we mix science and tradition in our work at Nature First. So, but I'm telling you that if you don't believe in the solutions that you have, people are going to talk you out of it. People are going to tell you that it does not matter. Whereas it matters 110%. I look back today and I say, what if I didn't come up with this solution? I look at there are people that we have literally, through the solutions and our natural remedies, we have literally given them a second chance at life. We have literally given them their life back. Some of them have gone through surgeries, repeated surgeries to fix some issues, and natural remedies from us eventually fix those issues.
And I look back today and I say, what if I didn't tell the story? What if I didn't come out? What if I didn't devote my time, my energy into research, into creating these solutions, into creating these packages? What would have happened to these people? And now that I'm into the business, now that I'm growing the business, I am grateful the more each day. Beyond the profits, I am seeing the real time value. I am seeing the real help we are bringing into and transformation we are bringing into the lives of people. So it's important that you understand the purpose for that pain. For somebody who was maybe probably timid before and now you become confident, you can begin to teach people how to build their confidence. That is literally giving people a chance to succeed and thrive at life. So sometimes we undervalue the solutions that we have. Maybe because we are not creating robots, we think we're not doing enough. Everybody cannot create robots. You stand in your place of purpose. I stand in my place of purpose. The world will become a better place for everyone. So never downplay your solutions. Maybe you're someone that used to stutter. You can't finish a line of statement without stuttering, without stammering. And somehow you found a way to overcome that. There are millions of people who are stuttering. There are millions of people who are stammering. How about you creating a training program for these people to help them overcome stuttering? Are you a mom who has a child with learning difficulty and somehow you're able to find a way to help that child overcome and become a fast learner? How did you do that? If you look closely, you'll find that there is purpose in that pain. You're supposed to use that pain that you have overcome to help others and profit from it. In 2021, sorry, 2011, when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, when he came, he told us that he had no shoes. He told us that he had no shoes in Otuoke, right? And a lot of people, bought into that story and said, oh, here is a president. This guy qualifies to be a president. He was like one of us. He had no shoes. He had no school bags. That was the major timeline or tagline, I beg your pardon, for his campaign. And did he win the elections? He won. He had no shoes. He told the story of how he moved from poverty, someone who didn't have shoes, to even go to school. Now, people wanted to identify with someone from the grassroots who resembles where they are coming from, and they gave him their votes. That is somebody who used their pain to make profit. So what is that pain that you have? Please transform it into profit. Like I said, you're now going to channel your strengths, your skills, your experiences, and your passion. Now, I have mentioned skill. So when I discovered that natural remedies could help, natural solutions, herbs were effective, I didn't just jump into it. I had to go back to acquire skills. I had to go back to acquire skills. I'm even currently, learning. I'm currently in school, training to be a medical herbalist, a certified medical herbalist towards the end of the year. Yes. So I kept learning. I had to go to the locals. I had to go to the locals. I remember going to places where they couldn't speak English and I needed someone to interpret because I wanted to learn herbal remedies. I wanted to learn local solutions. So you must match that experience with acquiring skills. It was on this journey I became a globally certified health coach because I knew I was dealing with lives and I needed to be extra skilled and careful. I was learning, I was acquiring knowledge, I was practicing and improving on my craft. So whatever experience you have come through, you don't just come out and declare yourself as you have arrived. You need to go through that experience and acquire the relevant skills When I started the brand, when we started creating products, both wellness and nutrition-based products, we had to send our products to laboratories for testing. We had to do toxicologist tests to find out how safe these products were. We had to get NAFDAC approval for our products. We had to submit our products to SON. We got approval. We had to get US FDA approval. We have to get HACCP Global Food Safety approval. These are all the certifications my company has. And people were like, but this is a small and growing company. Why are you doing all of this? I said I needed to put a lot of credibility to this name, Nature First. And I was going all out. I was spending company money. I was recycling company profits, right? Instead of, buying things and feeling like I have arrived, I was plowing back all of these funds into building credibility into the brand, because word of mouth is not enough. So that experience you have gone through, let's say you have moved from a place of trauma to a place of wholesomeness. You need to go learn how to be a coach that helps people overcome trauma. You need to take certifications. You need to take courses. You need to train. You need to skill up. And skilling up is continuous. It never ends. It never ends. The training I'm doing currently, the fees for this training is more than all I ever spent in my first and second degree combined. But I know that to serve my clients better and to meet the target market that I'm serving and I want to serve, I needed to get that qualification. And it's not even within the country. I had to speak outside. So what sacrifice are you willing to pay? What sacrifice are you willing to pay to skill up? You're talking about converting your pain and personal crisis into purpose and profits. You need to skill up. You need to know what you're doing, because you're going to be dealing with people, with humans, with lives, regardless of what your solution is. Even if it's to help people speak English better, maybe you used to speak poorly, you now speak better. You are dealing with lives. So you cannot afford to approach it carelessly. You need to approach it with expertise, with confidence, with skill. People should be able to trust you. So skill up is one way you can convert your personal crisis or pain into purpose and profit. Now, another point is you need to create value. I beg you. If there's one thing you're going to take out of this training tonight, is that you must create value. You must create value. And like I mentioned, you cannot create value unless you own your story, you share your story, you are confident about your story, you skill up, you learn, you add. There's this scripture that says, to your faith, add knowledge, to your knowledge, add virtue, to your virtue, keep adding. Never downplay the place of personal development. So whatever craft, whatever area you have found that, you have a pain that you have overcome, are there trainings, are there courses, are there development areas around that field? Go through them. Submit yourself through them. By the time you begin to create your own solutions, people will be paying you. Like, people will be booking your services. That's the point I am now. I charge. My 1 hour is 50,000 naira. Yeah. For some people, it might look like nothing, but that's something. That's something of value. And people pay for it. They are thankful for it. They get the solution. They get the much needed help. So it's important that you create value. So develop a solution. Now that you have found this pain you want to convert into purpose, develop a solution. For me, it was creating products. I created generic products. By generic products, I mean like products that are, within specific areas. Then I created unique products. There are some clients I have consultation with today. Currently, I'm creating a solution for someone who has schizophrenia, right? And the person is having paranoia crisis. Little thing, the person is panicking. There are herbs. that are very good to address those issues. Herbs that when I give it to you and you drink, you feel like there's a calm sensation in your mind. Yes. And I create such personalized solutions for people. I shared a testimony on social media today about a child that was booked for surgery. The child had adenoids. I was booked for surgery. It had to do with his respiratory tract. Can't breathe well, always snoring. The child will snore. If the child is snoring, the place is vibrating like the generator is on. Crazy health issue. That child today has been discharged to go home. No more surgery. The child is sound. How did we come about that? The child used our natural products from nature first, from start to finish, and that child is healed. This is someone that they've been struggling with for months. So if that product didn't exist, when they had come to me, I said, you're going to apply this way, drop in the child's mouth, and the child is healed today. So you must create a product. So for you, it can be a book. I also have a book. I have 2 books. You can create a book. You can create a coaching session. You can create physical products, right? That can help people come out. Or you can start an initiative that will attract funding support. So what is that pain you have experienced? What is that pain that you have experienced? Please begin to think of the product you can create from it. It can be a tangible product. It can be a digital product. It can be an ebook. You can start with an ebook. You can go write your solution down, convert it into an ebook, and begin to sell online. The world is a global village. When I started my C-section campaign, men were buying it because of the way I owned my story. They wanted to read the story. They wanted to see how I moved from this point of C-section aversion to campaigning for C-section. So you must own your story. So create a product. My goodness, our time is fast spent. So I'll just give you these few 2 more tips, and then we'll call it an evening so I can take questions, right? Now you need to build a brand around your solution. Position yourself. Position yourself. Yes, I started when people say, oh, what you're doing, you're a herbalist. Yes, I said I'm a herbalist. I work with herbs. I help people heal naturally. I'm a herbalist. I started to own it. And I started to put out post content, write-ups, solutions around what I do. So there's if you come around me, whether on camera, off camera, you have a health issue, my brain is thinking about what natural thing I can do, or I can tell you to do, or give to you that will make you well. That's how my brain is now wired. That is how my brain is now wired. You call me, oh, someone says, oh, my tummy is aching. My mind is already thinking, what's causing the tummy to ache? Oh, do you need to drink more water? Oh, do you need to take a tea that can help you maybe belch more and release the gas in your tummy? My brain is already looking for what I can give to you. Oh, do I need to give you a time tea infusion to drink? I'm already thinking. And that's because I have immersed myself into the solution that I provide. So whatever solution that you have decided to provide from your personal crisis, from your pain, it's important that you begin to position yourself around that solution. Position yourself as a brand of authority. So you are someone that maybe moved from being broke to financially stable. Start writing about finances. Start telling people how they can save 10,000. Move to how they can save 100,000. Now, when they have 100,000, how can they invest the 100,000 to become a 150,000 or 200,000? Start teaching these things. Start talking about them. When people have issues with such areas, your name is going to come to mind. I get calls almost on a daily basis. Oh, somebody gave me your number. Oh, somebody say you're a native doctor. I get all kinds of calls. Oh, someone says you're a plant doctor. Someone says, I get those calls. Why? Because I have been able to communicate that. So whatever solution that you have identified, you need to continuously show workings, show your expertise, talk about what you do, position yourself around it, engage your audience, engage your audience. Now, when you begin to do that, you begin to create offers that you can now monetize. By offers, I mean you can write a book, you can launch a course, you can sell products that you have packaged. You can begin to partner and collaborate with others. Today, I'm on Serlzo speaking at the International Women's Day celebration because of the work that I do. It gives you opportunity to meet other people, to network, and also attract opportunities for yourself. So I think I've been getting signal that my time is up. So one last word, please stay authentic to your story. If you stay authentic to your story, you grow faster. You don't need to fake anything. You don't need to feign anything. Okay, so they say I have more time. Thank you. They don't stop. Okay. So great. So you begin to, when you own your story, when you are authentic, you begin to attract opportunities for yourself. You begin to attract collaborations. The other day, I got a message. Some says a message that says, "Oh, I got your number from so and so. I'm reaching you on behalf of a project we are doing at the United Nations Development Project. We want to interview entrepreneurs in the Sahel region, and you came highly recommended." I'm like, "From where?" And the person mentioned, and I'm like, "Ooh, the person who recommended me is not even in Nigeria." So when you own your story, when you put out solutions to the world, when you push, you fight for what you believe in, you begin to become a voice to be reckoned with. And everybody, all our experiences, like I said, do not undermine your experiences. Do not downplay your experiences. There's a woman on social media today, who I watched the video yesterday, who makes rice from the local rice brand. She makes rice in the village. And while she's making her rice, cooking it with firewood and all of that, she gives motivational advice. And she put it on social media. Her social media was growing, kept growing. Today having hundreds of thousands of followers. Recently, she was brought to Abuja to share her story for the first time. She stepped feet into Abuja. That is the power of a story. That is the power of a story. That is the power of your personal story. And nobody can take it from you. That is the beauty. It is your own. Nobody can take it from you. And you never can tell how far your story can take you. So please, if you have you have overcome a personal pain, a personal crisis today, it's important that you share it with the world. You create solutions. Oh, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the feedback. I heard you say I'm learning a lot of things. I'm glad you're learning. Now, please, as you're learning, make sure you are implementing. Make sure you are implementing. Don't sleep on all of the knowledge you are getting here tonight. Make sure that you implement. Now, also partner with people who are in sync with what you do. Partner with people. Partner with people. One of the benefits of converting your personal pain or your personal crisis to solution is that you can help others with it. Now, apart from the monetary value you get, which is great, which is fantastic because you need money to pay your bills, that sense of fulfillment is awesome. It's fantastic. Sometimes that sense of fulfillment is something that you can't just explain. In Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it talks about self-actualization, right? You feel this reward, sense of purpose and fulfillment for helping others achieve their goals. I just finished a coaching program where I coached 100 people on how to cleanse their system through water fasting. And I held their hands and led them to fast for 48 hours. The feedback has been mind-blowing. They didn't pay me a kobo for it. But reading their transformation, reading the results they got after that 48 hours of fasting, Some of them who had pains on their joints, their ankles, their knees, they were saying the pain is gone. Some had bloating, the bloating is gone. Some had severe, digestive issues. The digestive issues are gone. And, all of these testimonials, mind blowing. That gives fulfillment. So you never can tell where and when and how. Some of the beautiful people I've met today is because I put out my story. I'm using my solutions to share with the world, and they are being drawn to my light. You have a light. Tell yourself, I have a light that the world must benefit from. I have a light. I carry light. I am a light bearer. Now, scriptures tells us that you don't light a light and you keep it under a bushel. You don't light a light, you keep it under a basket. No, you light a light and you keep it on top so that you can provide illumination. Illumination to you and illumination to others. So it's important that you stay authentic to your call, to your purpose, right? So I'll just go through this quick now. What are the step-by-step ways to convert your purpose, your pain or your personal crisis into profit? One, identify that pain. I've already mentioned this. Identify that pain, identify that experience. I will call it expertise. That experience you went through that you have come out from is an expertise. Don't waste it. You are now an expert. Yes, so yes. If as a person you have been through divorce and you see that people are dealing with the stigma and all of that, but you came out strong, you came out wholesome, you are thriving, you are building your life back. People are in that point. A lot of women are at that point. A lot of men are at that point. How can you help them? You are now an expert. You have survived it. You are thriving. How can you create solutions for them? Think about it. Now, understand your target audience. Who are the people you want to help? Who are the people you want to help? You need to also define that, right? Now, how do you want to create this product? If you're someone that usually gets bored by routine, you now begin to think about systems you can put in place. Systems. I don't know why I'm screaming, but I need to scream systems. You need to put systems in place. Now, when I started the brand, I started myself, myself, and I was the OOO, only operating officer. But that's not what we have today. I can decide not to visit my factory today for 2 months and production will be going on. I can decide to go on and build something else, and the systems we have built, others will be coming on our website, on our social media on our online stores. Others will come in. Whenever you decide to build, put it in mind that you must create systems. I don't need to speak to someone before they can book a consultation session. I send them a link and they book, and the process is automated. So automation, if you're a Serlzo woman, automation, don't joke with automation. Automation will save you stress. Automation will buy you time. You know, women, we have a lot we are juggling. You're a mother, you're a wife, you are an auntie, you are a home builder, right? You are preparing meals, you are nursing, you are breastfeeding, you are taking care of the other children, you are being wife to your husband. You have a lot of responsibility. You have parents, you have loved ones, you have a lot. So if you don't create systems, if you don't build systems fast, you're going to struggle. Now, there's a point where everybody starts. But while you start, please think systems. Think about systems. Think about systems. Think about systems. How can I build system around this thing? Now, for those who want to go into coaching, you have automation system. Talk to Serlzo, they will help you. We have softwares. When I started, there's this software, Holy Spirit, help me. There's this software I used to use, seller.co. I put my book there because some people say, oh, transfer the ebook to me. I didn't have time to start doing transfer of ebook. I had to put my book on the platform. And when they click, they get a copy. I get paid. The software, they take their commission. Automation. You cannot do without automation. You cannot do without automation. So talk to Serlzo to factor in some automation strategies for you. So decide how your product should be. You want to create digital products like ebooks, webinars, you want to do templates, you want to do courses. What do you want to create? Please ensure that you create solutions. Digital products. Digital products are fastest and easiest. When I started creating digital products. Yes, that was how I started. Digital products. Started creating ebook, started creating trainings, and all of that. There was a time I was doing personal development trainings. Yes, before I even got into Nature First, I would put people in the class, put a fee to it, and I'll push the cost. Now, how about physical products? You can create physical products. You can create products like we do at Nature First. We have physical products that you can take to improve your well-being. Whatever your field is, create products. If you are someone that, for example, you find out that you are in an environment, you observe the school children, maybe in a place, you are a home, you are a housewife, or you are a homemaker, and you discover that there's a school around you, and the children are always buying junk food, eating junk, and it's a pain in your heart, and you're wondering, how can I help these children? And you come up with healthy treats, things like plantain chips, chin chin, and all of that made from natural ingredients. You begin to push that solution and say, oh, I want to help these children eat healthier snacks. That is a solution. That is a physical product you can create. So think, open your mind. Open your mind. God, your Father, is a creator. So open your mind and think solutions, right? You can create services, coaching services, consulting services. I do that as well. Speaking engagements like this. I get paid to speak to others. So it's important that you create solutions, you create products, you create services. You can create an app. Maybe you had a child that used to bedwet and you set an alarm system for that child and it helps the child stop bedwetting. Create an app that can help other children too, that can come on and help them wake up and help them overcome their bedwetting. It's a big issue. Bedwetting is a big issue. So I'm just trying to open your mind to see that solutions are bound. The more problems, you see how many we are in the world, that's how many problems we have. And that's how many solutions we need. So what are you creating, right? So go ahead and create your products. I've talked about building a personal brand. Keep talking about your solution. The world is hearing. Hey, I tell you, they are hearing. There was a time I felt like, who is even listening to me? Oh, now I know people are listening. And now I know people are listening. Lots of people are listening. So when you start, don't stop, right? And then market your product. Carry your product on your head like gala. Market it. Talk about it. Shout about it. Sometimes I feel I don't even shout enough. Talk about your solutions. Talk about your solution. As you market your solution, collect feedback. Take feedback from people. Take feedback. Oh, if you look at the packaging of our product today, it never used to be as posh as that. Go to naturefirstng.com. Nature first, first position, ng, naturefirstng.com. You see the products that we have there. It didn't used to be beautifully packaged like that before, but I had to start somewhere. We took feedback, we started evolving, improving our packaging and all of that. Some of the packaging improvements you see were from feedback. So when people say, oh, why don't you do it like this? Don't get angry and say, why are they telling me how to do my business? No. Don't get angry. Take the feedback and improve on it. And then with time, you begin to scale and diversify. You know how the journey starts, but you never know where that story can take you. Own your story, tell your story, profit from your story, and fulfill purpose from your story. Thank you so much. It's been an hour of talking, so I'm going to get feedback from you now. Thank you.
Oh my God, Ma. I mean, personally, I feel full. I feel so full. I don't know who else actually feels like I do. So I remember at the beginning of this session, I told everybody to have a pen and a paper and write out 5 things. I can tell you that I have over 10 things. So I want us to talk about the 5 things we wrote out, at least your top two. While you guys are on that in the comment section, let me just talk to Miss
I'm
Priscilla. I
struggling to
feel like
share.
a whole part of
I don't
what
know
you
if it's
said.
from my end.
Can you hear me, Ma? Can you hear me, Ma?
I can't hear a thing.
Can you hear me? Can anyone else hear me? Okay, I was told that they can hear me. Hello, Mrs. Priscilla, can you hear me, Ma? Miss Priscilla, can you check your audio, please? Okay, guys. So I I was saying I want us to talk two things out of this session. I have a page full of 10 things. I literally have 10 items written down. I actually can relate to a lot of things that Mrs. Priscilla talked about, and I feel like we need to hear this more often as women. In as much as it's already out there, we need to still be told. So that's how I'm also currently in an era where I'm starting up something for the first time in my field, and it's you get this imposter syndrome where you feel like you're not good enough, or why should your voice be heard. And I could relate to what Miss Priscilla said when she said you are light and you're meant to shine. That is actually something I like to remind myself often and often, that I am the light of this world, and God has so much He has put in me that I need to put out there. And let's talk about putting systems in place. I mean, in this time and age, you don't want to be running a business without automating it. You would drown. You would drown. And the biggest part about your business is actually your customer relationship. It's not just about sales. It's actually about, like Miss Priscilla said, a purpose, and it's supposed to people. So you cannot impact people's life, or you do just want to take their money and not talk to them. So you need to have a system that actually builds that customer relationship. I mean, Priscilla said a lot of amazing. I'm watching to see what you guys have to say. Modipe said this session is highly impactful. I mean, I'm so with you. I am so with you. But I want to talk about what we actually learned. So those are like the two things I took out of this session. And the first thing she said was nature first. It made me remember my mom. So my mom is a huge advocate for nature first. If I tell
Oh
my mom
wow.
that, if I tell my mom that I feel the next thing is well, I'm sorry, I'm evil. She say evil, like let's go out, grab one, leave like that.
I like your mom already.
I'm like, mommy, please just wait first, just wait. I'm sure if I drink water and sleep, I'll be fine. But learning from you now how honestly nature first, I need to actually currently I've learned to actually take that option. Before now I would run away and just completely shut that out. But I believe right now I would actually take a step in taking that option. If ever something came up, I would actually pay attention to what nature has to say first. I mean, okay, so now reading what people had to say. Christy said, get knowledge. Yes, amazing. That's actually also a really key takeaway. You're not just supposed to start something blindly. Pay to learn. I mean, everything of value is actually worth paying for. So get knowledge, consistently evolve. I mean, you'll stop learning. The moment you stop learning is actually when you actually stop moving. So I want to know which of us here, the lucky question, who would want to share that story with Miss Priscilla so that she can tailor make a actionable step for you. And truly, each and every one of us has a story. Every single one of us. So much was said tonight. So the first person that wants to ask a question in the comment section, that would be the first person that was supposed to give this takeaway to before we call it a night. So I'm looking in the comments for the first person to actually ask a question. While that's happening, Rhoda said, identify your pain, learn from it, create your solution. Rhoda, you were listening. You were listening. Modupe said, nobody knows how to hawk your products like Gala. Sister, that one. And at first, you would feel overwhelmed, especially with something you used to. I promise that once you pass that phase, feeling like you get this you get past that phase, and it doesn't last. It actually doesn't last. I'm waiting for questions from who has a story that you know about that they want Miss Priscilla Taylor specific actionable step because the story is not the same and everything is going to vary per experience. Even said can happen in your life and use for your own. Still waiting for the question. Climate said that one. Me too. Okay, Rhoda, yes. Lucky for today. Taking your question first. So, Priscilla, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
The first person to ask a question, so we want you to tailor make an actionable step into answering her question. She said, okay, no, sorry, that was not a question. Okay, yes, Chisom said, I am looking at posts. I am looking to set up a post-partum care solution for women, service, and pro. Can you help? Host, can this be okay? Yes, on screen. Miss Priscilla, this question.
Okay, so this question is for Chisom. Fantastic question, and I like the fact that it is tailored around women. You're looking to set up a postpartum care solution for women, service and product. Then how can I help? Okay, so part of the story I shared earlier was when I had I had two C-section deliveries in a space of 13 months. Now, there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to women care, especially postpartum. You know, we didn't used to talk about the postpartum depression that a lot of women, over 70% of women, experience after childbirth. You can begin a sensitization initiative around that topic. Now, for one of the, let me be very practical since you say, how can I help? Now, one of the issues I had after I had my cesarean birth was during my labor, my first birth, I had this oxytocin, which we call hot drip, where they give a woman when to expedite labor to make it come faster. Now, the side effect of that oxytocin is it leads to depression, postnatal depression. So I had given birth, but whenever it was time to breastfeed my baby, you will see this pain, anger, bitterness over me. I didn't even want to touch the child. Now, a lot of women deal with these issues. But how can you give birth when you are supposed to be saying, oh, sweet, cuddly baby, extending kisses, and then you are angry? Will you not be termed as a witch? But these are issues. These are real issues. These are mental health issues that a lot of women are dealing with. You are dealing with all of that, and somebody is using hot water to press your tummy and giving you some hot things to drink, giving you some places they give them kai to drink. They tell them not to cry, and all of those things. So you can start a counseling session to help women who have that trauma at birth. Some women go through trauma at birth that for years they are dealing with. Some of them, their sex life is badly affected even for years after childbirth. So you can begin to create counseling solutions. What I did at the time was create a Facebook page. We had over 2,000 C-section mothers in that page. Before nature first, took my took my heart. You understand? So you can create that group, that support group, create ebooks, create resources, and begin to sell them. You can start with low price resources and begin to scale from there as you grow in your craft. So these are some things you can do. You can do a consultation, you can write a book, you can do courses, you can do webinars, paid webinars, where these women can come and onboarding. See, I heard lots of stories when I created that C-section support group for women. Some women, it was their mothers shaming them for not being able to have a vaginal birth. So they were dealing with the pain of just going through childbirth, and they were still dealing with the trauma of feeling like failures after childbirth. So you never can tell how many women, Chisom, are waiting for your solutions, your postpartum solutions. And there are a lot of them. There are some, like I mentioned, around sex-related areas. People are having sex issues after delivery. Some people are having mental health issues. Some have slid into depression they can't tell anybody about. These are postpartum issues. Some are dealing with how will I put it now? They are dealing with cases where they are not proud of their bodies. Their bodies have experienced change. Those who were very slim have become plump, and they are shy of their bodies. Some are shy of their scars, of the C-section scars they have. You can create solutions to help these women gain their confidence back. See, this is a very hot niche. Oh. I could go on and on and on. So please create solutions. Start creating those solutions now.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Priscilla. This is just me. I'm sure that you got enough of what you wanted. So the next question, is it possible to tell at all, like talk about what I'm currently going through? Can you hear
Your
me, ma'am?
question is a very, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Modupe, your question is a great question. I don't know at what point you joined the call tonight, but earlier on, I said if you want to share your story, make sure you have healed from that story. Make sure you have gone past that pain. Make sure you have overcome that personal crisis. Why? It impacts on your confidence to help others. When Jesus told Peter, he said, when you have recovered, he said, Satan has sought to sift you like wheat, but I have prayed for you. When you have recovered, strengthen your brothers. It's not when you are still recovering. He couldn't have strengthened his brothers when he was still denying Jesus in front of a small girl. So it's important that you have overcome that pain, that challenge. Then you have the confidence to help. That doesn't mean that you cannot help others. You can still help others when you are dealing with your own pain. But it's important that it's easier when you help others when you have overcome. It gives you credibility. It also makes them want to listen to you even more.
And that is actually totally true. I second Mrs. Priscilla has believe in that ideology. The next question here is Miriam. This is type business. A baker in my area, a lot of bakers, they are good. How can I be one step ahead of them?
So I take that question again.
So Miriam said that she's
Okay.
so she's asking how can she be one step ahead? She be different.
So okay, she said she's a baker, right? In my area, there are lots of competitors and they are so good at their work. How can I be one step ahead of them? Oh, great. Okay, this is a fantastic question, right? A fantastic question. You can be one step ahead if you own your solution. There can never be people who are as great, who are as unique as you. So if you are a baker, begin to think of flavors, things you can add, right? Things you can do. Begin to think of things that you can do to make your own solution, your own baking unique. Sorry, let me just quickly power my device. Awesome. Okay. You need to begin to think of solutions that you can create, right? Unique things that you can do. Let's say everybody is baking one particular type of chin chin, vanilla flavor, vanilla flavor. How about you adding ginger, right? Adding ginger to your chin chin, making it spicy. That makes your own stand out. So they are doing one type of cake, one particular style of cake. How about you creating something different? So differentiation is something that can help you stand out. Differentiation is them.
Making 2 cents to what Miss Mariam was saying, to what Miss Priscilla was saying to you, Mariam. I also believe you can actually also find a way to brand in with a story. You can telling a story into actually do. One of the biggest things that can set you is branding, marketing, and how you present what you do. So packaging, tell a story incorporated into what you're currently doing. And that will bring this session to, I want to say one of you who gave in your time to be able to, and I'm so glad from the comments see that learned a lot. Personally, I learned a book full of over 10 things. So please to take this further, make sure to join the Serlzo Women's group. There would also know so that after this conference we don't just end, but we actually build a community that will thrive. Also, you do not want to miss out from what tomorrow. If you think today was like this, just imagine what we have in place for you tomorrow. So for joining, and we would see you tomorrow. Please, please, please make sure to join the Serlzo WhatsApp remember, because that's the only way we can keep in touch with you after that. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks.